Hi, YCS students. I am Dr. Sister Judy Lewis. Let me welcome all of you for this virtual session. I hope all of you are hale and healthy. I'm really happy to address you today on the topic of contemporary times and management of stress. I am grateful to Father Rupesh for inviting me to give this online virtual session to you on the above topic. Yes, YCS students, you are the pillars of the contemporary society. I know you do extremely well in the parishes, and your active role in the parishes is praiseworthy. Though presently we are in a stressful situation, and because of that you cannot have much activities and your direct involvement is curtailed. Still, you have other ways where you can make your active participation explicit and keep contact with other members of your group. Contemporary times. We all know that the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the whole world. In India, the number of affected people is lessening and reducing since few days. Among the most affected people by this COVID-19 are students, and I think good number of YCS members are students. You know, the students have lost a full year of academic life. It is natural that all of us experience stress during these pandemic times. When the COVID-19 propped up, the lockdown started, we all were in panic and tension enhanced. Besides, in WhatsApp messages, newspapers, in the television, etc. The topic of pandemic was very prominent and sometimes too much exaggerated and other time far from objectivity. Besides, the fear of third wave is spreading very rapidly now. You must have observed and seen discussions on stress that people face in their daily lives due to COVID-19 pandemic. For 2 years, we learned to face the challenges of life and carry on in the midst of the pandemic. So, what do we observe now? We perceive that the society has become very fearful and anxious to the extent that every human person strives for his or her survival out of the pandemic. For this reason, people in the society, in a family, coming from different sectors and backgrounds, seem to experience increasing stress. This can be noticed when we see loneliness among the students, financial problems in the family, the fresh graduates facing the problems of future career, insecurity in life and the like. Though Online classes were going on. Many students found difficult to understand them. As a result, the academic quality has come down. On the other hand, the students have become lazy, no motivation or focus because of dry lifestyle. Besides, the use of mobile has created physical and mental sicknesses. This short background of contemporary times and the present situation leads us to our topic, namely management of stress. What is stress? Let us reflect for a while. What do we mean by stress? All of you have the experience of stress during pandemic COVID-19, but we need to know that stress is experienced not only during COVID-19 but every time when our expectations are not met. When something very important event is on our way. For example, we have to appear for an exam or appear for an interview, etc. Just reflect, what do you understand by the idea or concept of stress for you? As all of us have some notion of the experience of stress, you and I experience it every day. Due to COVID-19, stress has become almost universal phenomenon. So let me try for an answer to the question, what is stress? Stress in our ordinary language is tension, pressure, burden of responsibility or strain. So, why do we feel or experience stress in our body? We experience it due to worries, and worries due to anxiety, and anxiety due to stress, and stress leads to burnout and depression. That is the reason why you must have heard some students and young boys and girls have become victims of stress. Due to this, they have attempted even suicide because of their inability to cope with the stressful situation. We need to know that our energy is limited and our capacities too are limited. Our mind is like a pressure cooker. Mind has certain limit to carry the pressure. When the pressure exerted is more than its capacity, it simply explodes just like a pressure cooker. All this does not mean stress is totally bad and useless. Stress is useful when we know how to manage it or how to control it. Stress helps us to achieve many things in life, but we need to cope with it, control it, and manage it. Stress management is very important in life. Two kinds of stress. When we speak of stress, we can highlight two kinds or two categories of stress. The first type is called temporary or provisional stress, and the second type has chronic stress. The first type is due to struggle or exertion put up by you in order to perform and reach excellence. It is positive type and you deliberately and purposely exert yourself and get into a stressful situation temporarily or provisionally. You have an important exam and you struggle hard in order come out with flying colors. You have a public speech or a tournament as the next event in which you wish to do best and you struggle hard to practice and prepare yourself in order to get best results. This generates stress and you are aware of it. But the achievement of the goal is important for you. Hence, you do not mind to be in stress on a temporary basis. This sort of stress is useful and sometimes necessary to achieve your goal. But you should be able to return to normal life and relax your mind and body once the event gets over. You are able to divert your attention to other activities, to meet your friends, to recreate or to read a novel. This kind of stress you can normally cope with by giving sufficient time for sleep, do some regular exercise like yoga and give some limited time for relaxation. The second type of stress is called chronic stress. As the name suggests, it is the stress from which you find it difficult to come out. Even after the event, the mind refuses to relax. It gets worried about the outcome and the consequences of the activity you have completed, and the mind stubbornly holds on and gets tensed and worried more and more. This is dangerous and you should go to a counselor and get help. Thus, for example, after the exam, you get worried about the result. And after the result, you get worried about the reactions of your parents and friends to your performance, and after that you get worried about the next exam, so and so forth. This means you get addicted to stress and anxiety. The first type we shall name as positive stress and the second type as negative stress. Positive and negative stress. Let us discuss a little more on positive and negative understanding of stress. Positive stress is called Eustress and negative stress is called distress. What is Eustress or positive stress? It is the first type of stress discussed above. The Eustress always pushes you to achieve more. Moderate quantity of stress is a driving force for many achievements. Moderate, well-managed stress makes one a dynamic personality. Dear students and YCS members, please stop repeating the words tension, stress, worry and anxiety. Resolve never to utter them. They are negative words which fill your life with negativity. Repeat always, I am relaxed, I am happy and joyful. I am able and your mind will obey you and fill your life with happiness and joy. What do we mean by distress? The stress that presents problems is generally understood as distress. It is the chronic stress discussed above. When people use the term stress, they do it generally for negative stress or distress which manifests itself through extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain. Our experience of stress is greatly influenced by how we interpret and label our experience. It is person's internal reaction to the event, environment, situation that determines the degree and intensity of the stress. Generally, stress is a physical, mental, and emotional reaction to unpleasant circumstances. If the person's coping capacity is very low and stress experience is unusual, then generally the individual is prone to be stressed very severely, which can lead to chronic type of stress and anxiety. Unpleasant situations are always there in life. What we need to learn is to react to these situations mentally and emotionally in a mature manner. For this, we need to learn to manage stress. Let us then go to the topic of stress management techniques. Stress management techniques. This is an important aspect of our presentation. Let me speak here on few of the techniques which you can put into practice in order to manage the stress which you experience in your day-to-day life. The first and the easiest one is the laughter. Laughter is the best medicine for stress. There is truth in that. It is very difficult indeed to remain stressed and tensed when you are bursting with laughter. Scientifically speaking, laughter is very beneficial as it increases oxygen supply and relaxes muscles in the diaphragm and chest. What happens when you laugh? Your brain produces endorphins, which are neurotransmitters of happiness. Laughing is also contagious. If you get a group of friends, make video call and have laughing exercise. Or come together and watch a funny movies. And if one starts laughing, soon all the others join in. Second, adequate exercise, sleep and rest, playing sports and doing some exercises like yoga, and most important, eating a healthy food. All these are means to reduce stress. Third, still another means to reduce stress is forgiving yourself and others. This is because if you go on with hurt feelings and guilt feelings, you can never be at peace with yourself and with others. Therefore, forgive and forget. Reconcile with others, whoever he or she may be, and be at peace. There is no greater medicine than peace for a person who is in stress. Fourth, of course, yoga, meditation can go a long way to reduce stress. But it needs more training and desire to learn the methods of meditation. Those who can do it, go ahead and be joyful and relaxed. Fifth, another means of reducing stress is to count the number backward, like 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95 and downwards. This can be practiced when you are really tensed and do not know what you should do and how you should act. The counting will give your mind time to face the situation and prepare an adequate reaction. Sixth, another means of reducing stress is to use a smiley ball and hold it in hand and press it until you become cool and stress is reduced. Next point, coping with the stress. Still, there is another important aspect to stress management which is needed to deal with especially the temporary or provisional stress. We can ask how to cope with the stress when it occurs. There are some important strategies which you can employ to cope with the stress. These are: learning to take life the way it comes could be one, stop blaming others is another, learning to live in the present and working for the future could be the third one. The fourth one is maintaining harmonious relationship with others. Responding to situations with equanimity, detachment, courage, determination is the fifth. Avoiding negative emotional reactions like anger, grumbling, worrying and apprehensions is the sixth. And the last one is speaking or seeking professional counseling. To conclude, we can affirm that stress is manageable, but it demands efforts to regulate your thinking and the willingness to change your behavioral pattern. Learn to lead a well-balanced life of satisfaction and contentment. Know that stress is a companion of our life. Only a lazy person who does not want to achieve anything in life can afford to live without stress. Hence, normal stress is generally unavoidable, but stress is dangerous when we allow it to cross the limits. It is the cause of many physical and mental problems and illness, loss of health, loss of mental peace and anxiety. All of us therefore need to learn to manage stress. If we manage stress properly, it will be with us to achieve great things in life. Stress will make us dynamic personalities. It will impel us to work systematically and manage our time well. Stress should be accompanied with relaxation. Learn to relax your body and stress will not disturb you. Cultivate the habit of relaxing your mind and stress will make your intellectual life very fruitful. Thanks to all of you for listening to me so patiently. Before concluding, I especially thank Father Rupesh for giving me this opportunity to share my reflections with all of you YCS members. Thanks and God bless you all.